All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here, well, here on the land, doing some harvesting. As you see, we have a good amount of greens coming in, and basically, what I do is I pick them out of my raised bed here, and I built this thing in the spring so I wouldn't have to bend over. So as you see, I'm standing up, and all my food is growing. If you can just see, I'm going to show you here. You see, all of the food is growing. Uh, but it's all about efficiency. It's all about making sure that you can get things done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And so that's why I constructed these raised beds, and it's easy to water and plant. And I have a couple of them that are growing up quite nicely. And as you see, all I gotta do is come and spray them down. But this is what self-sufficiency is all about. This is what uh, we need more of, and it seems that we're lacking this greatly. Um, up in here, more string beans, but no. What I wanted to talk about right quick is absurdities. Um, have you noticed that things are becoming more absurd, and people say the most absurd things in this day and age? And this is why I say over and over again, watch what people do, not necessarily what they say. If they what they're saying uh, backs up what they're doing, then you know that they're a man of honor and integrity. But we live in a time where people can just pretty much just get up on camera and talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And it seems as though so many people are attracted to people that talk the talk but do not walk the walk. And it was prophesied that it'd be like this in the last hours. That people would be vain deceivers. Um, and this is what we're seeing. This is what we're seeing. There's very few people that's going to actually back up what they say, what action. Um, uh, because in order to back up what you say with action, you have to actually do something. You have to actually produce something. And this is why it's so important to grow your own food, because see, when you're growing your own food, you're able to uh, circumvent the genetic modification that is taking place with our food system. You're going to be able to make sure that you're not in a situation as to where uh, you and your family is constantly being poisoned, that you and your family is operating in a sound mind. And this is why I say, how can someone act in a sound mind if they're constantly being bombarded with genetically modified foods, when they're constantly in a state as to where uh, they are not operating in an organic fashion. You see that? Ain't that beautiful? Those are my raised beans right there. And so they're coming along just fine, but they got to get fed just like anything else. So I'm out here. I'm sorry with the camera. Out here, making sure I'm doing my little watering to keep them nice and healthy. Those are the raised beans that I got going on. And then I got my corn going on over here as well. And what I've decided to do, it's interesting. I have cut down greatly on production because, for the past, 5-6 years since I've begun to be very proficient at this thing, is I've been growing more food than we can handle. We've been growing more food than we can store and eat. So the only thing that I can do is pretty much just cut back on the production. But back to this, we live in an era of absurdities where um, people could just pretty much say anything. I'm at the point in time in life where somebody can say something and I know it's absurd, but I just go along and I'm saying, okay, all right, because absurd things really never come to pass. As you see here, these are our, see that? These are the tomatoes. And then I got the more tomatoes, and then we got peppers growing. You see the peppers? And so we got a lot of peppers coming in, a lot of tomatoes coming in. But this is what this is about, being self-sufficient. But the level of absurdities that people are perpetuating today is just, it's literally off the chain. And this is why I say over and over again, watch people. Watch the results of their decisions. Watch their decision making. Watch who they align themselves with. Watch all of this stuff, because it's going to tell you a lot about their character. It's going to tell you if they're people that really uh, love truth, if they really love uh, brotherhood, if they really love sincerity. And a lot of people, you come to find, they don't love it at all. As you see here, I'm gonna get a little, I don't know if you can see it, a little plot of corn growing. Yeah, you can see it, the corn growing as well. But it don't take much corn. It probably is in this patch, 1, 2, 3, about 100 head of corn. But corn, it'll sprout about 2 or 3 heads of corn a piece. So that's more than enough to put inside of the freezer to last us until next growing season. So those are the things that I'm, on the growing front. Those are the things that I'm focused on. I'm focusing on corn, string beans, things that I can put back for long term, as opposed to the leafy greens that I've grown a lot of. And it's better for that stuff to be eaten, uh, when it's fresh, as opposed to when it's frozen. Now you can eat frozen greens or frozen spinach and stuff like that, but I come to find that I enjoy it most when it's just straight out the garden. Um, but again, I know I'm off on a tangent between gardening and watching folk, but that's why it's just so important to watch people, what they do, as opposed to what they're talking about, and to see what comes of it. Uh, because again, I'm watching people, and they're talking about all types of absurd things that it makes no sense whatsoever. Have you ever listened to somebody and they're talking and what they're saying makes absolutely no sense? And I experienced that a lot. You know what I'm saying? From folks that I reach out to, folks that I've known over the past, and you follow up with them, and they're saying the most absurd things. They're planning the most absurd things that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So uh, just don't want be one of these people. Don't be one of these people that just talk out the side of their neck, but don't produce anything. But let me go ahead and finish up this watering and stuff. But y'all stay blessed and stay productive. All right, shalom. Put this